friends, happy Monday. I woke up to some incredibly exciting, at least for me, news, which is if you're familiar at all with this series, the English is I Am a Witch, and my crush requested me to make him a love potion, something like that. It's a long title. It was officially announced today that this is going to be getting an anime. This is, well, it's not my favorite manga per se, but the light novel version is my favorite light novel. So the manga is super duper cute, but the light novel just goes in more detail. It's a fantastic story. If you are familiar with Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me, the two manga are not by the same author, but the light novels that both manga were based off of are by the same author. So if you like this, you'll probably like this. So they're both very good, and you should check out the anime when it comes out. I am so excited. I really, really like this author. Every light novel that I've read by her has been so good. So I really want to support her, and I hope you will support her too. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I was so excited when I woke up. Let's talk about everything that I read last week. And I did read quite a bit last week. I did do a very, very large haul from the library, and I did read a few. I have some more that need to come in before I can start reading. I ordered volumes 2, 3, and 4 of something, and only volume 4 came in. Now I have to wait for volumes 2 and 3 to come in. So I have a lot of books to read, and a lot that I can't read yet. But let's talk about what I have read. Starting off with the one light novel read of the week. This one I read so fast, and it is smaller than my typical light novel, I think. But it was such a sweet series. I read it very, very quickly. And this one is If the Villainess and Villain Met and Fell in Love. This one was a gift from my brother, and I loved it so much. This is such a sweet series. I first read volume 1 of the manga through the library. I really liked the story, and I wanted to add it to my collection. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy something I had already read. I know I wanted to support the author, but I already read it. Why would I buy it? Kind of. I was struggling. So I decided to ask for the light novel because this is all new to me. And it was really good. This is about a villainess character who, it's a little bit complicated. So she's a villainess character, but she's only a villainess because her fiance, the crown prince, wants her to be a villainess. He'll say things like, I think stupid girls are the cutest. Or I think very, very haughty, snooty girls are the best. And because she really wanted to be loved by her fiance, she would act dumb, even though she's very smart. She would act snooty, even though she was actually pretty shy. So she became a villainess. And then everything changed one day. I'm not going to do a big spoiler. This guy is the villain character, and just like our villainess, he's not really a villain. He's a little bit cold, a little bit, he treats everybody the same. So noble girls who are so used to being treated better than everybody don't like it when he treats them the same as everybody else. So he's seen as a villain, and the two of them meet and fall in love, just like the title suggests. And it was really nice. I really want to order volume 2. It's not in stock at any of the bookstores in my city, so we'll have to see what I'm going to do about that, but I really liked this one. Moving on to the manga that I've read. I have read a lot. Starting off, and I did do a couple shonen romances as well, and we'll talk about them. Starting with my best shonen romance read of last week, we have volume 1 of You and I Are Polar Opposites. This was a reread. I will be watching the anime because I've been seeing clips online, and it looks so cute. And I really want to watch it, but I wanted to do a little reread of the manga first, even though I only have the first 2 volumes. This is such a cute series. Again, it's my favorite shonen romance. It follows, like the title suggests, 2 people who are total opposites of each other. So we have Suzuki, that's her name. We have Suzuki, who is a very bubbly, cheerful person, but she really, really cares about what others think. Not necessarily in a bad way, just she's really always conscious of keeping the mood light and bubbly, making sure everybody feels comfortable. I shouldn't do that because maybe they'll take offense to it. She's always kind of up in her head about things. Versus Tani, who is very, very quiet. He almost seems a little bit cold, but he's still kind. Especially when compared to Suzuki. He's very quiet, she's very loud. Suzuki sees Tani as being quiet and just kind of matter of fact, as being very cool. Because he doesn't really care what other people think of him. He'll do what he wants to do. He kind of holds his own, versus she will do what she thinks other people want him to do. And it just talks about their romance. Even though they are like total opposites, they actually really get along very well. They're very, very cute together. I really like it. Personally, I have 2 reasons for liking this one so much. Number 1, I think the translator did a fantastic job of this one, especially with like the slang and overall language usage. I will find fault in any English translation. No, like, nothing bad to the translators. I'm just nitpicky and I can't help it. Especially with slang. Oftentimes, I will find slang usage to be dated. And it's hard to translate slang because even in Japanese, things get dated so quickly. But I think they did a really good job, especially with the way of Suzuki, how she talks. It doesn't feel like too much slang. It doesn't feel like it's going to get dated quickly, but it does feel like she's a real teenage girl. Like it feels like she would be a real person. That's how a real girl would talk. I think they did a good job with her. The second reason I like it is I really like the inclusion of Suzuki's friend group. I like that the story focuses more than just their romance. It focuses on her friend group kind of all getting to know Tani and them like accepting him. I think it's cute. It does talk a lot about like looks aren't everything. You need to understand a person's personality and their interests and blah, blah, blah to really be able to understand them. And I just think it's sweet. I liked this one. I will be continuing. I've already read this one. Moving on. This is all in no particular order. I'm just kind of grabbing things. This one was a library read. This was A Wolf's Daughter, A Werewolf's Tale. I am fairly certain this is a josei series. I will confirm that. Long story short, I had high hopes for this one, but I did not end up enjoying it, sadly. I borrowed the first 2 volumes, so I'm going to see if I can convince myself to read the second. This one is about, we have Tsukina, an ordinary high school girl who actually isn't ordinary at all. She's actually a werewolf, is like the overall. She's different from the other girls, but she doesn't know why. She was adopted, so her parents don't know about her wolfy origins. One day she meets this kind of sketchy guy who goes up to her and is basically like, "You smell delicious." Because he smells that she's a werewolf somehow. And she thinks he's just straight up hitting on her, a teenager, and he's like 24, so like that's kind of weird. But he turns out to be a werewolf, and then he accepts her into their werewolf family, and then blah, blah, blah. I was excited for this because there is a whole thing about black wolves and white wolves, and they're very divided. White wolves like kind of hide in not the wilderness, but they're kept away from everybody else, basically. They're kind of mysterious. They're racist wolves, pretty much. They don't want to talk to anybody else. Black wolves, on the other hand, seem to be very much like into society. They're pretty accepting, even when the secret, like slight spoilers for this one, well, you can see on the cover too. She's gray. So why is she gray? There's supposed to only be black and white wolves. So clearly her being gray means her parents, one was a black wolf, one was a white wolf. Most likely. How did that happen? The white wolves don't like anybody else. So when the black wolves meet her, see that she's gray, they're accepting of her, which is nice. I thought this story would be kind of about like racism, about a half black, half white wolf girl kind of tries to get along in society. She doesn't feel like she fits in with the humans because she's not human. And she doesn't feel like she fits in with the wolves all that much because she's a gray wolf, not a black wolf. And all the wolves that she knows are black wolves. That's not really what it touched on. Maybe it will from there. That's what I was hoping it would go on to because I thought that could be a very interesting commentary. It didn't. It feels to me like this will be a romance between a teenage girl and the 24-year-old wolf. And I really hope it won't because he was kind of introduced as her mentor, like the one person who finally understands what she's going through when he accepts her. And I thought he was going to be like a mentor, older brother character. But I don't think, it feels like it's going to be romance between them, and I'm not happy about that. It feels like she's going to throw away, like, everything she worked for in her life. Like, in terms of going to college, she was studying so hard. It feels like she's going to throw all that away to hang out with the older wolf man. So I'm not all that happy about it. It it didn't do what I wanted it to do, basically, is why I'm unhappy about it. But I'm going to try and continue reading, and just fingers crossed there's no romance between the teenager and the young adult. Moving on to something I did like more. I finished Gin no Mugibatake. This was volume 3. There are only 3 volumes in this series. This was one of my best reads of last week, if not my best read of last week. I'm just seeing what I read. This was my best read of last week. I really love this series. I was so scared I wouldn't like how this one ended because so many things were introduced in volume 2. And then a literal god was introduced at the end of volume 2. And then everything had to be concluded by the end of volume 3. And I was thinking, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that it could end properly. But it did. I'm very, very happy with the ending. All of the loose ends were tied up. It was so good. This series is about, like, general. I'm not going to spoil anything from this volume. It's about, in this magic kingdom, there are 2 types of witches. Golden witches and silver witches. Golden witches are not as powerful as silver witches, but they can help out everybody, basically. Silver witches are ridiculously powerful, and sometimes their magic is so powerful it can cause harm to humans because it's just so powerful. Because of that, gold witches are beloved, silver witches are feared, basically. There are only a finite amount of silver witches versus quite a few golden witches, and it's very complex. We meet our main character, Mei, here, a normal girl, who one day falls off a cliff into Belle here's silver wheat field. He is a silver witch. He made silver wheat, and the 2 of them become friends. Eventually, he is forced to turn her also into a silver witch, and they go on a little adventure. It is a lot more complicated than that. I cannot stress how good of a series this is. There is no romance, and I'm actually very happy for that because it is all about friendship and found family, and it's just so sweet. In this volume, we got, I think, about a good quarter of it was pure backstory. So, like, everything that had been introduced up until this volume had been more explained, which it needed. So I was very happy with it. I understood things a lot more. So many things were able to click into place. And then it had a proper ending. So it was just very good. I am sad that it's over. I'm very sad that it's over. But it was very good. The part with the literal god, I was worried about. That ended well, too. It was very sweet. Let me know if you want me to do like a full story explained about this one, because I can. Because I can't do it justice in a super quick recap video. Next one I read is this one called Yonoi Tsukihiko's Happy Hell. Yeah. Yonoi Tsukihiko's Happy Hell. This one, I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this one is also a josei romance series. I'm pretty sure I'll have to look that one up too. This one, yeah, I don't think I'll buy this one. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be continuing to read it through the library because I'm curious about where it's going to go, but I don't know if I'm going to grow to like it any more than I currently do. This one is about, we have 2, both of them are grandchildren of very, very wealthy CEOs. And those 2 CEOs are very good friends. They both decide, hey, we should set up our grandkids together. And they set them up on a blind date. Our female lead, Mikan, is a lot. She's a lot. I don't like her. She stresses me out. She is very bubbly. She takes people at their word. She will barge into your home with a bottle of wine in her hand. Even if you tell her, don't come into my house, she'll just push past you, sit on your couch, and guzzle wine. And then she'll get drunk and expect you to take care of her. That's the kind of person she is. And it seems like she hasn't been told a day in her life. So it's very frustrating. So she has a man she's seeing who she thinks she's going to get married to one day. She only wants to marry for love, which, yeah. But she believes that, love is very... How should I put it? She takes people at their word. So if somebody says they love her, she believes, okay, they love me. Good. We're going to get married. Beautiful. When, it's... People can say they love you, but they don't actually love you. It's more complicated than that. But, so, she has a man she thinks she's going to marry. She has no interest in going on a date with some random man. He doesn't want to go on the date either, but because he has like manners, he goes to the date and then gets stood up because she doesn't go. He then goes to find her when she stands him up just to say like, hey, that was rude. Like if you didn't want to go on the date, cancel the date. Don't just stand me up. And she understands that as he really, really liked her. He was really looking forward to the date and he was very, very hurt that she didn't show up, which is not the case. And then she just kind of like goes at him kind of. She doesn't like him, but she like kind of goes at him. It's really weird. I don't get them. I don't get either of them. I'm not going to spoil anything. I was going to say something, but I'm not. So yeah. So their relationship is very strange. They really don't like each other, but she is just her. I don't understand her. Her emotions are all over the place. Her actions are all over the place. And her actions and her words never match up. So I find her to be very frustrating. He is very arrogant and just kind of mean. He's very good at his job, but he's arrogant and mean. So they do kind of complement each other because they both suck. Just, I think she sucks a lot more. She did so many things that bothered me. I think she sucks more, but he also sucks. So I will be continuing to read because I am confused and I'm a little bit curious, but I don't see me adding it to my collection as of now. I might change my mind just as of right now. Next read, this was my only BL read for the month. It's hard for me to find a BL that I like. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I like. I know I like horror BL. As you see Mad K right here, I like a good horror BL, but there's not all that many. If you know a good one, let me know. So I read Minato's Laundromat, and I liked it a lot. It was very cute. Warning, this one does have like a big age gap, but I think they do treat it better than a lot of other series. So we have Minato here, who is kind of our main character, well, a main couple, but Minato here, our main character, was working a corporate job, got burned out. Eventually, he had the opportunity to inherit his grandfather's laundromat and took it. One day, this boy Katsuki comes in. Minato thinks, wow, he's very, very handsome. But when he learns Katsuki is, I think in grade 11, he's a child, he instantly sucks up the attraction. He's like, oh, like he is attractive, but that's a child. Like, nope. So like he is able to rein himself in very well. And he is trying his best to be a responsible adult because that is a child. But when Katsuki realizes that Minato is gay, he also is able to say like, I'm gay too. And then he develops a crush on Minato, and then he tries to like kind of establish a relationship. And Minato spends basically the whole volume trying to establish boundaries with him, trying to be there for him, and turn down his advances without hurting his feelings. Because again, he's a grade 11 boy. Like he's at a sensitive time in his life. And it just talks about their relationship. I think it was done well. I really liked that Minato kept establishing his boundaries without really like trivializing Katsuki's, I can't remember his name, without really trivializing Katsuki's feelings. I think I liked that. We also learned that when Minato was Katsuki's age, he had feelings for his teacher when he was at school. So he understands perfectly well, like basically everything Katsuki's feeling right now, but he also understands how that teacher would have been feeling at the time, where like, that's not good. So I thought it was sweet. I thought it was very interesting. Typically, I really hate age gap series because I think they're usually done kind of distastefully, where they don't care about the age gap. But when it's a minor and an adult, you need to care about it. The adult needs to do something about it. It's on them to put a stop to it. And that's what we have here. So I did like that. And I liked it a lot. It was sweet. So I will be continuing this one. This one I could see myself adding to my collection if I can find it. Maybe in Japanese. We also read Volume 4 of The Ice Guy and the Cool Girl. This one, it's just a nice series. It's just cute. I like to read this one kind of when I don't really feel like reading anything heavy because it's very, very, like, it's light. It's not all that plot heavy, though there is still plot. It's just every volume is more or less the same in a good way though. So like the plot's always very, very, very slowly moving on, but you know what's gonna happen. These two have like not a complicated relationship, but they're kind of like more than friends, less than dating, kind of. They've been like that since volume 1. They're coworkers, but they're more than friends, less than dating. He is the descendant of an ice spirit. When he feels big emotions, he conjures ice and snow. She is just super duper cool. They like each other. That's the story. And it's just really sweet. If I'm ever feeling like I don't want to do a lot of reading, but I still want to read something, I read this. And it's very nice. Next one I read is The Boy I Loved Became the Jaded Emperor. I'm very glad this was a library borrow. I'm glad I borrowed it because I don't like how the female lead talks. I want to see this is my problem. I can't read in English. I want to see the original Japanese so I can get a feel for why they translated it the way they did. She speaks in a very, it's supposed to be like country, I think, or like very, very like low class person is I think how they describe it. But I don't like how she talks. So, that aside, I do think the overall story is interesting. But I don't think there was enough explanation about anything. So I need to continue reading to get a better feel for it. Just volume 1 wasn't enough for me to be able to say this is a good series or this is a series that's not for me. But this follows a girl who is reincarnated into the body of a beautiful aristocrat. And in her previous life, she was human, but she was like this little old green lady. I don't know why. And she basically saved the crown prince's life. They lived together for a while. She acted like his like surrogate mom, basically. And then she reincarnated into the body of a beautiful lady. The crown prince loved her when she was that little old green. She was literally green. She looked kind of like a lizard lady. And he was very upset at the loss of her. And so he has no interest in women, no interest in anything. He's very, very angry. The two of them meet again. I don't know if she recognizes him. He can't recognize her, obviously. She's very, very different. And then the story kind of starts to go from there. I don't know, they only re-met at the very end of this volume, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I found it to be a little bit, not confusing, but I want more of an explanation. Like, why did she look like a lizard? She really looked like a lizard. I don't know why. So we'll see. I don't know. A lot of the story talks about their time together in her past life. So it explains exactly why he liked her so much. But it felt like a lot of fluff with no plot. So I don't know. I'll keep reading and we'll see. My next read. 2 more. Okay, I read a lot. Is this one. This is Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian, Volume 1. This was my other shonen romance of the week. So on a scale of I love shonen romance and I hate shonen romance, I'm in the middle. I'm a shoujo romance girly, so what can I say? But there are some shonen romances that I can get behind. Like, I really like You and I Are Polar Opposites. I like Tsumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life. That's a shonen romance. And I enjoyed The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, which is shonen. So, like, there are some that I like. But this one, I feel like you have to be very far on the I love shonen romance spectrum to be able to enjoy. And I am not that far. I'm like in the middle. I'm teetering in between the like meh to yeah, it's okay. Like I'm teetering in there. I'm not in the love it category. So this one was very much not for me. This one talks about a girl who is half Russian, half Japanese. She has a crush on her classmate. She is very cold verbally to him in Japanese, but she will talk about how cute she finds him to his face in Russian. Surprise, surprise. He grew up watching Russian TV, which makes him fluent now. I don't know how fluent you... Questions about that. Linguistic questions about that. I know some people who claim to be fully fluent after watching TV, but I feel like that's I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I want to look into that. But so he understands Russian, so he understands when she basically tells him, like, you're so cute, I love you so much, to his face in Russian. She doesn't know that he understands, and he doesn't know why she compliments him like that. Already, I'm like, But there were some parts that I thought were a little bit cute. I do like her design. I think she's very cute. I like that. But then the sock scene happened. I'm not gonna explain any further. The sock scene happened, and I had to close the book. I like throughout it, I was like, hey, this is kind of cute. I'm not the target audience, but like there's things I can enjoy too. Like, yeah, I have to close it. I felt like I shouldn't have been reading it. So I will not be continuing that one, but that's okay. It's just not for me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm not the target audience. My last read of the week, I misspoke. I have read 2 BLs. I also read Lullaby of the Dawn, Volume 3. This one I've been like kind of enjoying. Like I've been teetering between enjoying and not enjoying. Just, it's hard for me to find a BL that I really vibe with. I don't know why. This one, I don't know, Volume 3, I did not like the twist. I'll just say that. Did not like the twist. Felt it was unnecessary. And then also, I feel like the person who I feel has been introduced as the villain character, or at least one of, because there's a couple villainous characters, but I feel like there's one that's like the villain. He just kind of is there, doing nothing. If there's going to be conflict, I want there to be conflict. Don't tease the character that's going to cause the conflict and have him do literally nothing. I think in this entire volume, all he did was say like, haha, they'll be sad soon, something like that. And it was like, so I didn't like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to continue reading this one. I only own the first 3 volumes. I might borrow volume 4 from the library just to see if I want to continue reading it or not. I don't know. But yeah, this is a complicated series. Let me know if you want me to do a deep dive into it. I might not be able to do it justice because I don't love the series. But yeah, this is a fantasy romance BL series. And it does have, like, it's super popular. And for a good reason. Like, it is very interesting. It's very well written. Just, it's hard for me to find a BL I like. So I feel bad trying to talk about it. But yeah, that's everything I read this week. I have a lot. I'm just looking. I have so many English manga from the library to read. I'll get through them all. I read fast, especially in English. Yeah.